once I realized that like I'm the blueprint, it was like little things, the level of poverty that your family might be in, or a mindset that your family might be in. And it's like you looking around and it's like everybody else normalize it, but you be the one like, nah, bro, this ain't right. Like, it ain't supposed to be like this. Or you'll be like, nah, something gotta give. It's supposed to be different. And that's how, like, I realized, like, yeah, I'm gonna be the one that's, like, gonna be breaking cycles. And I'm gonna be the one that's, like, gonna be different.
What you go through a lot of times isn't about you, it's about your faith. It's about your faith. It's about your faith, and the devil tries to destroy your faith. Still time. Kill vision. Destroy faith. Parasitic relationships. When you are in a parasitic relationship, 1 plus 0 equals 0. Pastor Mike, that don't make sense. No, because you bring something, but because they don't bring nothing, they drain what you bring, and it equals nothing. When you are in a symbiotic relationship, 1 plus 1 equals 2. I bring something, they bring something, we produce something. But when you are in a super abundant relationship, 1 plus 1 equals 3. You missed it. Because when I put my favor on what you're doing, it makes what we do produce something else. I need somebody in my life who recognizes who I am so God can bless what we do.
I ain't even gonna keep to you. Sometimes the time alone is like what you need. It's like you don't even want to really be off everybody, but everybody else be so needy or something. Sometimes it's like you gotta kind of separate yourself. And if I'm being real, don't even feel bad about it, because when you think about it, Jesus really did the same thing before some of the miracles that he had ended up doing. He kind of had the solitude or whatever. And one thing I realized is like last year I was in a time where I was in isolation. And don't quote me on these definitions, because I just kind of put words into how I think about them or my own definition, you feel me? So, like last year I was more so isolated, which in my case I say I was separated from certain people for a reason. And now I feel like I'm in a spot where I'm more so in solitude. So it's like, it's a reason behind me being in my own area, because I have a goal or my attention is on a certain thing. So it's like when I was in isolation, it was, or I found myself in isolation, it wasn't just like I put myself there, it was just kind of how circumstances went. And that's another thing, like in isolation, I feel like you kind of end up being put in. It's not like you put yourself in it, but when it's like you in solitude or whatever, it's like you put yourself in it. That way your attention is focused on one thing and you're not like going from this to this to that. So that's basically like my definition of how I think it is. Like I said, don't quote me on that, but I feel like that's something that we low key like gotta feel okay about doing. You feel me? One thing that I've accepted is that I'm the blueprint in my family, in my community, whatever it is. So it's like everybody come to you for something. And don't get me wrong, it ain't nothing wrong with it. It's like when you the blueprint, you'll realize that you don't mind helping people. You quick to like to see people grow and evolve and do the right thing and take off and elevate. And that's a good thing, but also you're gonna need time to yourself where you like have to turn everything around you down, because I feel like when you're in that position, it's like you attract needy people. Not to be rude or anything or knock anybody, it's just you attract needy people. So once they see that you come through for them a lot, or that you don't mind doing certain things for them, it's like, if y'all ever worked a job, I was the type of worker where my managers ain't have to tell me to do nothing. Like, I knew how to run everything in the job. I knew how to do everything in the system. As just being a regular employee. I wasn't no manager or nothing like that. So it was like I knew how to do certain things in the job, and I was good at doing my job. So all I had to do was do the work. They didn't have to tell me to go do this or go do that. But you know, it's some people like either they ignorant to not know how to do the stuff, or they just know that other people gonna do it, so they'll move out the way and let them do it. So sometimes, like, I find myself in this situation with a lot of things or a lot of people I come across. And one thing I realize now is like I'm in a point in my life where I can't too much just allow anybody to have access or my attention right now. Like the stuff that I'm committed to doing right now, I don't need no detour. I don't need no distraction. I don't need nobody trying to slow me down. You feel me? If you're not assisting me and helping me get to where I need to be, I'm just in a season where it's like I gotta be committed to doing these things. So the level of commitment right now that I got, it's like worth too much for me to, you feel me, lower my standards or lower my attention span to what is actually conducive to what I'm trying to do. So that's the position I really just mainly been in. That's why I feel like when you know that you the blueprint, or kind of recognize that you the blueprint, it's like you gotta, I feel like it's like mainly three things that you kind of gotta lock in with, and that's like distractions, attention, and your discipline, you feel me? So you gotta be able to know and have a level of discernment, so you know like what's a distraction or what's good for you and what's not good for you, you feel me? You gotta be able to pick out who helping you. And if y'all hear that, that's somebody next door or whatever. But anyways, you gotta be able to know like who helping you in certain situations, or who is slowing you down to what you're not supposed to be doing. You feel me? And once you realize that, it's like, and you have that level of discernment, and you know like what's good and what's not, then it's like it's easier to choose and deal with people. So it's like once you kind of find your purpose or kind of find your calling or your task or whatever, it's like it puts you in a position to where you can pick out like, nah, bro, not good for me to be around because he don't ever do nothing but want to go, you feel me, get high or whatever it is, like just little stuff that you kind of off of, not knocking anything that anybody do, but you feel me? It's just kind of sometimes facts, like doing that, it kind of slow your mentality down, it kind of slow your drive down depending on who you are, how you take it. So that was just an example, like I said, so I'm not knocking nobody or what they do, you feel me? I don't ever judge nobody, who am I to judge you, you feel me? Do what you do, but yeah, so you gotta have your distractions, play it out, you feel me? You can rock with people, but just rock with them from a distance, you feel me? There ain't nothing wrong with that, but your attention really just gotta be basically like focused. A distraction is really just mismanaged focus, if that makes sense. If you focus, you got your attention on this certain thing, on this certain goal, on this certain task that you want to do. So you need to manage your attention and manage your focus. That's going to play in a part of you knowing your distractions. And the way I said that, I hope that makes sense. But what's going to gel it together is your discipline. So it's like discipline is a necessity. If you don't have discipline, then you ain't going to really last too long in whatever you're trying to do, because it's going to be days that you wake up, you don't feel like you're doing what you need to be doing, or you don't feel like you want to do what you need to be doing. But that discipline is going to put you in a position to where it's like, even when I don't feel like doing it, I know it's got to be done. You feel me? Like, so if you pay your own rent, you know the rent got to be paid, so you got to go to work. If you got your own business, then you know that you got to manage your money sometimes if you the only person that's like taking care of your finances. So you sitting down, writing out your budgets and all that, you gotta do that, or it's just gonna fall off and you gonna kind of like get real lenient with what you're doing with certain stuff. You also gotta like know like your atmosphere, like who you got around you. The people that's around you, are they adding to you or taking away? Are they taking withdrawals or are they putting in deposits? You feel me? So it's like if they constantly just taking your attention or taking your resources? Are they actually adding to you also? And sometimes that be people that's like closest to you, but it's like you gotta have standards, you gotta have boundaries, and they might look at you weird or may end up kind of wanting to be off you or whatever, but it's like that's just gotta come with it. I feel like standards and boundaries is like a level of protection for yourself, because if you don't do that, then people kind of continue to use you or continue to feel like they're gonna have certain access or certain things that you allow them to do freely. And I feel like everybody should really kind of figure out how they go about doing that. And so I realized that, like, on the blueprint, it was like little things. So it was like you start to realize certain things going in a certain way that you're not like happy with or you're not content with. So it's like you realize like the level of poverty that your family might be in or a mindset that your family might be in. And it's like you looking around and it's like everybody else normalize it, but you be the one like, nah, bro, this ain't right. Like, it ain't supposed to be like this. Or you'll be like, nah, something gotta give. It's supposed to be different. And that's how, like, I realized, like, yeah, I'm gonna be the one that's, like, gonna be breaking cycles. And I'm gonna be the one that's, like, gonna be different. So it's like you can't even be scared to be different. Like, you gotta realize you're not gonna fit in with everybody else. You're not gonna do what everybody else gonna do. And it'll feel weird, like, in the beginning. But after a while, it's like you gotta embrace that, you feel me? So it's like you'll get to a certain point, like you don't care about being different, you don't care about standing out. And then you'll realize it's like certain people will start to get attracted to you, and not necessarily like just in a relationship type vibe or anything. It's more so like people look try to connect to you. And that's when you gotta realize, like I said, you gotta have that level of discernment or whatever. It's gonna be good people you come across that'll add to you, and there's gonna be people that's gonna like take away from you or be a distraction or a detour. So that's where the discernment and attention and discipline, all that come into play. But it's like I was saying, once you start to realize you the blueprint, it's like you feel like certain things need to be going on, and then you'll be feeling like you asking God, like, why I feel like I'm the only one doing this or only one going through this, you feel me? It's like you see yourself working towards certain things, but it don't seem like nobody else doing it. That's when you realize it's like maybe you're supposed to be the one to birth it. You're supposed to lead these people or show these people this certain thing or show them how to do this, or people will start coming to you asking for routines or questions and stuff like that, and you'll be like surprised. But if I'm being honest, I had to get to a point where I had to learn how to deal with people, because for a while I didn't have patience, you feel me? And I'm glad like God put me through certain things, because they taught me my patience. They taught me how to deal with people. They taught me how to go about certain situations. So it's like I'm not so quick to just dismiss people. It's like I can actually deal with people on a level, unless they just like slowing me down and I see that they're not trying to do better for real, and they just like really all talk. Like I was saying, once you start to notice that like certain things not going, and it don't always gotta be like financially. Like with me, it's like a mindset thing for the people that I'm around, my community or whatever. I stay in Arkansas, so it's like, to me, it's a level of a mindset of scarcity. So it's like people feel like it's not so much that everybody else can kind of be a part of what you got going on or whatever, because it's a scarcity mindset in Arkansas, to me. Especially like the city that I'm in. So everybody be gatekeeping, everybody be, not saying you just should give everybody like everything about you, but it's like, it ain't nothing wrong with putting people on, it ain't nothing wrong with showing people the way, showing people the move, you feel me? Like changing up the narrative in certain cases or whatever. It ain't nothing wrong with doing that, but people don't want to give that knowledge, people don't want to be the example. So if I gotta be the example, I do that, you feel me? I come to a point where it's like, I'm not tripping over the little stuff no more. I'm not tripping over no childish stuff. It's like I'm in a different mindset, I'm in a different type of thing, and I only want people that's got the same type mindset or better to be around, unless I'm leading the same people that's trying to get to where I'm going or what we trying to get to. And with that, it's gonna come certain trials, it's gonna come certain storms or whatever, but are you gonna be the one that's gonna tuck your tail and go sit in the corner? Or are you gonna be the one that's gonna strap your helmet up and go to war, you feel me? it's gonna be a storm, like I said. So grab your rain boots, grab your coat, grab your umbrella, you feel me? It might take a while, like like I just got a vision of like in SpongeBob, when SpongeBob and Squidward was like delivering the pizza, you feel me? Squidward was, if I'm not mistaken, I ain't seen it in a minute, but Squidward was tripping, like, you feel me? He wasn't forward, but you feel me? SpongeBob was going through it, and SpongeBob was like, it's dumb that I'm using this as an example, but SpongeBob, he was like, you feel me? He was singing, he was going, like, he was just going through the vibes, going through the motions or whatever, knowing like that they was still having a destination. Sometimes you might have to go through isolation, that you didn't put yourself in. And then after you get out of that, you gotta realize like where your attention needs to be. So it's like, when you the blueprint, you feel me? You don't be surprised on certain things you come across or certain people that you come across, but be real attentive to where you put your attention and the people that you allow that like get real close to you, feel me? So I'm gonna tap back in with y'all in the next video. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, all that if y'all want to. One thing that I will say is like, I always speak from something that I'm going through or something that I've been through. I don't ever want to speak on something that I don't really too much know about. So sometimes stuff be my opinion, sometimes stuff be what I feel like God kind of gave me to talk about, or something that's just kind of been on my mind for a little bit. So like I said, whatever I say, I don't want to do nothing to knock nobody, but I more so want to come from a position that's like really where I just kind of talk out my thoughts, if I'm being honest. So it's like people that kind of gravitate towards it or take initiative or take interest to what I'm talking about, then it is what it is. If it's for you, it's for you. If it ain't, then cool. That's why I say like I'm not trying to knock nobody. I'm not trying to talk about people that's like close to me or people that's trying to come into my life or whatever. It's just, I'm just at a point in my life where I don't need a detour. I don't need nothing to slow me down. It's real imperative to me, the people that I kind of allow get close to me. So it's like, more so like I'm in a position to where I need to know, are you as committed to me and what we need to be doing together? I'm already committed to what I got going on in my life. So it's like, are you gonna be worth that commitment also? Or are you just gonna be like, you feel me? I'm gonna be on this level, you gonna be on this level. I need that commitment to be like real equal, you feel me?